Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Zander Gibney. So this is my senior IT Innovation Capstone project called And Scene. And Scene is an effortless improv storytelling game and is basically the culmination of all my studies as a IT student and a theater student and a writing student throughout my 4 years here at UNL. But before we get into what And Scene specifically is, I want to address some of the problems and the opportunities that I saw to address these problems. The first of which is improv accessibility. So as I'm sure a lot of people in this room know, it's a very, very intimidating ask to get someone to go up in front of an entire crowd and make something up on the spot and like be creative in that kind of way. It's a very, very scary thing for most people. So it's a bit of an intimidation factor that makes improv a very inaccessible creative process. But studies show that there is a huge potential for creative development and increased just life from doing improv. And a lot of this comes from one of the biggest studies that I saw was in 2022. This group did a survey of a ton of experienced improvisers from across the globe. They found that 98% of experienced improvisers agreed that it had creative development, doing improv for your entire life, and just increased your value of life. So there is a lot of good that can come from doing improv, but it's very accessible. So I was trying to figure out a way to marry these two things, and the biggest thing that I found was a group of people that I like to call role-playing hobbyists. Now these are people that play like Dungeons and Dragons or do like improv on the side and really get into that kind of role-playing storytelling field, even if they don't necessarily always refer to it as improv, it essentially is improv. So there is a large group of people that like improv when it's formed in that kind of gamified way. So really the question is, how do we marry all of this together? And that comes to my value propositions. So like I said in the beginning, I wanted to create an effortless improv storytelling game that would increase the accessibility of improv, combine the accessible game design that I researched, and also theatrical principles that I've experienced throughout my entire life, and then just create as much fun as possible in the process. Because at the end of the day, if I'm making a game, it should just be fun, and that's the most important thing. But before all of that, underneath everything is the underlying magic of And Scene. I'm gonna get to a demo in a little bit after I get to this. So at the surface level, And Scene really is just facilitating an in-person experience and interaction with technology. So And Scene, on a surface level, functions very similar to things like Jackbox games or Kahoot, where you have people playing on their phones and also something on a main screen where you're getting different information on both devices. And all of it is working to facilitate that storytelling game. And the reason that it's technology instead of being used as just a card game is because the technology makes it even more accessible. With technology, you don't have to have someone sitting there skimming the rules the entire game. The gameplay is just facilitated by the technology, which really increases that accessibility. Underneath all of that is the fact that And Scene layers improv prompts at crucial moments of the story. So the gameplay of And Scene is spread over the course of 5 different scenes: a prologue, 3 acts, and an epilogue. In improv, there are 5 different categories of prompts that players are given at crucial points that mimic the flow of a traditional 3-act story that we see in all media today. And you'll see that when we do a play test here in a second, that you get a role, a goal, and a twist personally just on your phone, and then up on main device, you get a setting where the location where everything takes place, and then eventually a complication that sends the action in a fun new direction. And then underneath all of that is creating what I like to call a co-opetition. So essentially, just overall, because you're trying to tell a story together, there is that sense of collaboration and cooperation. But because you all have your own individual goal instead of everyone working towards the same thing, it is also that competition aspect that you're competing with each other and heads are bound to butt. But before I say anything further about And Scene, I would like to invite 3 of my friends here who are experienced improvisers up with me. We're going to play a quick, not full game of And Scene, but just to demonstrate the abbreviated game of And Scene, just to show off the entire functionality app. So you guys will pull that up on your phones, because this is just a web app that you can go to online. I'm gonna log in with just a test email account. So essentially the way that this will work is that it's just, you buy the game, and then you can play it whenever you want if you log in. So the way that works is just like Kahoot or Jackbox. You go to that website on your phone, please not for demonstration purposes today, and then you type in that stage code. You will be able to join the game and play. 6-4. Awesome. So yeah, we all joined the game from our personal devices. I have an iPad to make it a bit more visible. So you can see once you join the game, just displays that you're in the game, and then we'll start soon. So I'm going to go ahead and start the game up on here. And then you see on your device, you get an option of 3 different roles to start out the game. So my options are a teacher, XX_gamergod_XX, and the worst YouTuber. So I'm going to be the worst YouTuber. And everyone else is going to choose the roles. One of us is Gabe, right there in the white shirt. He's the director of the scene, so he gets the additional opportunity of selecting the setting, if you want to select that, Gabe. Cool, so the setting is a tavern on the wrong side of town. So yeah, Gabe, whenever you want to start the scene, we're going to do a 5-minute, not a 5-minute, but we're going to do a little prologue scene. You want to get in my glove here real quick?
Oh, that's great. Hi. I'm a zookeeper here at the Omaha Henry Dorley Zoo.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm actually here. I lost my kangaroo.
Oh, well, you gotta go find them. You guys will jump over there? Yeah, you guys want to get, you want to say hi to my followers over here?
Hey, make sure to watch the jump roping competition next week.
Good, good. Make sure you like and subscribe too before you watch that.
And scene.
Okay, perfect. It's not over yet. So that was just the prologue of the story. So now we are all going to select a goal. My personal options on here are to give a gift, learn something new, or solve a mystery. So I'm going to learn something new. And Chloe, you're the director, so whenever you want to start it.
Whoa, guys, I need my space to do my jump.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Do you know what else needs space? An elephant. Glad you could all join me here today. Now, elephants are large animals, and they're gray.
Keep talking, keep talking.
Okay, so they're gray, and then here I have.
No, keep talking.
I have 2 people here that are not elephants.
Hey, I have 1 million followers here who are paying attention.
So
So,
many.
yeah.
This is my chance. I'm gonna beat you in this jump roping competition.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah, you can this thing too.
whoa, hang on. What are you doing?
I'm filming it.
You should be filming me.
Oh, sorry.
I can't believe
I
that.
have to
Because
talk
they're
about
not elephants, because they're not gray. And see.
Alright, so now we're in Act 2. So the director, Haley, is going to choose a complication that we all now have to deal with in this game. Zero gravity. One of my least favorite ones. Thank you, Haley. Okay, whenever you're ready to start.
Whoa!
Mine! Everyone's gonna love this. Okay.
Hold on.
Hey guys! Welcome to the Henry Dorley Zoo.
This makes it so much easier.
I feel like I love the Henry Dorley Zoo.
Let me take that.
No, we're gonna beat up San Diego.
That's the
every
name of
day.
this new tavern. The Henry Dorley Zoo.
Let's see.
Okay, so now we all select a twist that only affects ourselves. So my options of twists on here are I get canceled, I can't stop dancing, or I'm the main character. So I'm gonna say I get canceled.
Hey, you're already the main character.
I'm already
It's not a twist. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Sorry.
Okay.
You know what? Screw that guy in particular.
What?
What?
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
You come in here, you have all this weird anti-gravity nonsense,
I didn't say
and you're trying to like take all the focus away from what we're really here.
Jump
roping
roping.
elephants.
Yes, you're right.
Exactly.
You know what I just realized?
Hey,
When he's here, bad things happen.
That's true.
guys, stop saying it. I'm losing subscribers by the second.
Every time you're here,
He's a
bad-
bad person.
No! Stop it!
You're a bad person.
Classically
Come on,
villainous.
I'm a zookeeper.
Let's just go jump
My
rope.
powers are dwindling.
You stab your own king in the back just to get ahead.
What's the king?
What? I don't know.
I'm the king of jump roping.
No, I will usurp your throne.
Now what do we learn, everybody? People are not animals.
Excellent.
And scene.
I was waiting for you.
That was your epilogue.
Okay, so now we're in the last stage of the game, which is called the epilogue, where each of us, it cycles for each of us being the director for our own personal 1-minute scene. So I'm the first director for this scene, so I'm going to go ahead and start it and do my monologue. I started the day at 1 million subscribers. I'm now at 0 subscribers. I don't know what happened if it weren't for those meddling kids and their elephant too. And
Chloe accidentally skipped through her epilogue.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I had an elephant, and I brought it from the zoo. And I guess what I learned is that elephants don't do very good in 0G. They also aren't very good jump rope skippers. Whoops.
In my journey to be the best jump roper, I conquered some, but then an elephant stepped on me. So there's that.
Really quick before you start, Haley, I just want to point out, just in case you didn't notice, throughout that entire time we did have a kind of little timeline going up at the top that was showing every single step of the way. We have a timer that was adjusting for every single scene in the process, and then at the bottom it was switching who was the director, so that even if you're not the director, you can always look up there and see who's the director. Go ahead, Haley.
Let's address the elephant in the room here. I am the best jump roper, and I always will be, no matter what he thinks. So, hit me up if you want to. I also do children's parties and birthdays.
Perfect.
I can't. It's not.
Is it not on there? Who has and scene?
I think it just ends.
Okay. Well, it's a glitch. But that's the game. So after ideally at the end of the epilogue, I think something glitched out and there's no button. But afterwards, it'll show you what every single person's role, goal, and twist was. But I think the button disappeared somewhere, like magic dust. So if everyone just wanted to go through and read what your role, goal, and twist was.
Oh, I was a zookeeper. My goal is to teach someone something new, and my twist is that I came to a realization.
I was expectedly a jump rope champion. My goal was to keep my distance, and my twist was that my shoes were too small.
I am an apprentice who tries his best. My goal was to change my status, which I believe that I accomplished. And the twist is that I made a new enemy. Or several.
Yeah. And I read my goals and everything. So yeah, that does display up there. Something went wrong though. Yeah, that's the demo of Unseen though. Thank you all so much for doing that.
I look at the game, so there's no problems.
And so actually these three, not only did we all take an improv class together during the J term, but they also were three of my play testers for my honors thesis, which was I did 10 play tests each with a group of 3 for my honors thesis, which isn't within the scope of today's presentation, but I'd love to talk about it if you have any questions. But switching over to the business side of things, my go-to-market plan is up here. So essentially, it's going to act in 3 phases. The first is going to be a base market. This is going to include kind of who it directly affects, like improvisers, D&D players, stuff like that, board game and hobby shops, who I really want to reach out to, starting small. Then the second step is going to be the fringe market. These are going to be more corporate teams and educational facilities, the people that will more get use of kind of the creative development potential of it. And actually, side note with this, while I was presenting my honors research, I was talking to Chancellor Lee, and she asked me to send this to her so that she could play it at her leadership development retreat, which is really fun. So I still need to reach out to her for that though. And then after we do that, the third step is going to be the big market. The big market's going to be just the general party game audience, people that can just play this for fun when they want to, as well as getting all of those proven creative development effects as well. So the business model is very simple. It's an individualized solution, so it's just a one-time game purchase with the potential for different add-ons and different versions, so like and scene horror or and scene sci-fi or like Disney and scene eventually would be great. The price for this I've listed up here is $21.35, and you might be asking yourselves, Zander, that's a very, very specific number. The reason is because during that playtest honors research, I asked people how much they'd be willing to pay for this, and the exact average was $21.35. So that is somewhere around there that I'm going to charge for this. But they buy the game, they own the game, and then they can play it whenever they want to. Some financial projections, can go through this really quick. Year one's gonna be for development, estimating maybe like $80,000 for development as far as like writing and design and playtesting and all that needs to go into this kind of game. The bulk of writing and design will occur during the first few years as we're reaching out to that first audience and then the fringe audience. Maintenance is gonna be about 15% of the original cost every year, which I factored in. The number of sales also does not equal the number of players, because once again, this is a game ideally for 3 to 5 people that you can just buy one copy of and a bunch of people can play. And then of course, year 4 and 5, additionally, some add-ons and some different versions and stuff ideally will be added in there. Some credentials, just in case of who I am and why you should back this project, if I'm hypothetically talking to some funders out there. These are some of my awards, recognitions, some of my experience that I've received recently. So here is my management team. So I have a lot of people here that are experienced with improv, have some development team that helped with my prototype. And then also board of directors, Mr. Charles Fisher, who unfortunately cannot be here today, Dr. Ann Fruling, and also I had a quick conversation with the dean, Dr. Martha Garcia-Murillo, the other day, and she gave me some feedback on this as well. And still need a head of marketing and graphic design. So next steps is earning the funding. I already got $500 for developing the prototype, which is very helpful. And then after that happens, I just want to test and test and test again and make this as good as possible. And then finally, developing and eventually publishing this thing. So what I need now, up to an $80,000 investment would be great. It might be too much money, but that would be amazing. And I think crowdfunding is a really nice way I can get that. And then also some connections to educational institutions, which I've already started with my talks with the chancellor and the dean. And then also hobby stores would be great. We're talking like Spielbound downtown and Dragon's Lair and Legends Comics and stuff like that. And also, since this is a tool ideally for everyone to help with creative development, leadership development, your availability if you would like to playtest and scene with me and help me just keep improving this and keep iterating on it. So if you were interested, this is my contact information. If you wanted to take note of that, you can also look up my UNO email on the registry. But if not, I would love to open it up to any and all questions for everyone.